Today in Higher Learning, the Project on Student Debt released a report highlighting the efforts of some college financial aid offices to help borrowers avoid taking on too much student loan debt. And with many students taking out risky private loans, the report offers a number of steps schools can take to make sure students are making informed choices. And here to talk about the report is Peter Kerwin from the Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. Welcome to you. So what are the best practices in terms of helping students avoid taking on these risky private loans? Risky is interesting. Why is that?
Well, I mean, one of the issues with this report that came out was that it was titled Critical Choices, how colleges can help students and families avoid taking on risky private loans. And that's really, that you want to make better decisions about it. And what they found is that when colleges are actually working with students and providing them with information, offering counseling services, it's really helpful to them, because one of the big problems, and the folks at the Project on Student Debt know this better than anybody, there are too many students out there who are taking on these risky private loans without actually exhausting all of their federal loan options. And those federal loans are a lot safer, they're a lot better for consumers, so it's like we've got a real problem here, how do we address it? And what the report did was kind of looked at what are some of the best practices out there. They talked to about 22 different financial aid administrators at schools across the country. And what they found out was that when schools are taking the time to actually offer counseling services to students and letting them know where they can get those federal loans and how they can go about doing that, you're going to get better outcomes. And that's a really big thing. I mean, one of the problems, parents sometimes feel like, the federal loans are tough because you have to fill out the FAFSA form,
right,
which is really complicated, a lot of work to do. I'll deal with it some other time. But there's services out there to help families. Like here in Rhode Island, we offer College Goal Sunday, where you can, the financial aid administrators, the state association, they'll have volunteers at different schools where you can go and actually get help filling out that form. So it's a really nice service. Right, exactly.
You really do have to just seek out the knowledge then, because as you're saying, these resources are available for the families out there, and they just got to, I guess, dig a little deeper, right?
Exactly,
yeah.
and it's like as long as you're making that information available, it's going to be really helpful. And what the report basically said was, if you take certain steps, already there are schools working, they do something on a voluntary basis with some lenders called the school certification process, where the schools actually have to certify to the lender that, yes, this student's going here, and yes, they understand how much debt they're taking on.
Yes.
And when that conversation happens, it actually makes it better. It gives counselors a chance to say to students, hey, you're taking on too much in private loans, you're taking on more than you can afford, you need to look at other options.
Perfect. That's great information. We all learned something today. Thank you, Peter, so much.
No problem.
Hey, for more information from College Bound Fund, you can head to foxprovidence.com.